Hey, you guys, this is your girl, Ebony Nicole, the Vice President of the Rochester Black Authors Association. And you already know how excited I am to interview authors, okay? But this time is very special because this is the first time I've done this in person. Usually, you guys know it's over Zoom and they are in their home and their state, wherever they are, and I'm in my home here in Rochester. So to have Miss Samantha here today live like this, your girls may be thinking we need to do this more often. So as always, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on Instagram as well as Facebook, and I will leave that information for you at the end of the recording. And make sure that you connect with Samantha when she shares her information as well. So without further ado, you guys, Miss Samantha.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
So we are very excited because we are just coming off the tail end of the 6th annual Rochester Black Authors Expo, which you were a featured author at.
Yeah, this is my first one here.
Listen, we love first, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's like, now you know where your foundation is and you can only get better. So tell us about who you are as an author.
Well, I'm an author that kind of just wants, I started because I wanted to understand, like, why I'm a psych major. So I wanted to understand what makes people behave the way they do, like what experiences led to this particular mindset, this particular behavior. And so the book that I have now, Prodigal, the remix, it started because I was in a situation with the social circle and I was like, why are you acting like that? Why is this happening? And
that was of yourself or of them?
Both.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Both. Like I knew what was causing me to react the way I did. And I was trying to understand why I wasn't meshing with them so well. Like why we weren't like here, like you're acting a certain way, but I don't understand when I'm trying to communicate a certain way. And it's just, okay.
Why is this that disconnect?
Yeah, where is the disconnect coming from? And so I just started, and when I actually started, I was in a relationship that wasn't really going well. Yeah. And to keep my composure in that relationship, I got a pen and paper and started writing things out. And like, when I got really upset, rather than react loudly in an abrasive manner, I would just, okay, I'm just going to destroy you in literature. That's all.
I'm going to kill you with the pen. Yes.
Destroy you in literature.
So being in that relationship and trying to understand your friends and family and just your circle of friends, you said, and you started writing, what was that like for you? How did that feel? Being able to share your emotions, your feelings on paper, as opposed to lash it out at people?
Well, when it started, it was more fun. It was a distraction. Like, okay, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. So I'm going to deal this. And you said this and you said that. Oh, we're going to write this story. It's going to be just so awesome. It just started like a fun thing to do. But then the more years went by, I've gotten separation from that social group. It was like, okay, let me actually truly understand what happened. And that's how this one came about. It got more serious and less than a joke.
Oh, so you had taken when the group disbanded, as it seems like the music groups, and the group disbanded. That's when you got serious about your writing, that more so, and serious about the characters that you were writing as well.
I've actually been writing since I was 12. Well, my mom says 10, but I believe 12. But we remember the same story, but at different points in years. She's like, that was 5th grade. I was 7th grade. So, but I've been writing for a while. Yeah. And I used to carry notebooks around with me in 7th grade, just trying to that was my escape. I didn't really understand my place in the world. And so I just thought at least if I wrote a story, I could create my own space. I create my own world, create my own position and place. And so with that particular social group, when I actually started taking this writing more serious, this particular story more serious, I wanted to understand the drama. It was interesting, like drama. It affected me, but I could explain that it bothered me, but I couldn't explain why it bothered me.
Ooh, see, that's a lot of things that authors go through, because we can have the ideal up here, but sometimes the emotions behind it don't really connect and come out. But that just means that you had some more connecting to do with your characters.
Yes.
Yeah. And so what story are you referring to when you're talking about?
I'm talking about Prodigal, the original. The original Prodigal was the one where I would able to express that I was upset about something. The characters able to express it. Now, with the original Prodigal, I was able, like I said, to express that I was upset, how I felt, what I did because I was upset.
Mm-hmm.
And what made it interesting to me was I started the story in about 2010.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really finish it until 2013 because it was missing that twist, that angle. Like I could just tell you what happened. All this stuff is fictional anyway.
Yeah.
So I can make it up easily. But what sets it apart from just another story? And that's when I thought of the reality TV spin for it. So I always felt like we were on TV anyway. Like, you know, when you're young in your 20s, you're like, oh my God, everybody's gonna see this. It's gonna be so embarrassing.
Nobody's gonna see it.
At all. But you got that in your head, the whole world is watching.
Yeah.
So I was sitting home, I was bored, and I just happened to turn on something on TV, a reality show, and I was like, there we go.
There we go. It always has to, this is one of the things that my editor, my third editor said to me, because I had to go through quite a few to get to her. So she said to me, every story, there's no story is new. Nothing is new under the sun, right? But we have to add those different elements that keep people pulled in, that keeps them guessing, that sets them apart. Because there's always a love triangle. There's always a good son and a bad son. There's always
the good guy,
the bad guy, and everything in between. There's always somebody going to the top and having a bad fall. Yeah. It always happens, you know? And so you just have to add those things, like you said. It took 3 years to really understand, how can I set this apart from other novels? Yep.
And even then, once I put the reality TV spin on it, I left it in my drawer for another couple of years because I was like, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't follow her.
No, it wasn't even that. I just knew, like, you know, that before I can do better, but I don't know how yet. I don't know where yet. I needed to mature as an author, as a writer myself, in order to figure out, okay, how can I make this part better? How can I set this apart?
Yeah, pull up the best in the story.
And so then I think I started school around 2015, years later. I pulled it back out and I just started writing. I was in the middle of I was studying psychology. So I was like, there's a ticket. That's what I needed.
And that's the part that's going to connect, because you had questions.
Yeah.
And then taking the psych classes help you fill in or help you answer those questions.
What motivates the character? What motivates the action behind this? They're doing this, but why?
Why? There's always a why. Yeah. And I think that in some fictional stories, the why is missing.
Yeah.
The why is missing. It's like, so my character just got up and he was having a bad day and his day just got worse as it went on. Okay, well, why? When he woke up, why did he have a bad day?
Right.
Did something happen through the night? You need to know
what's on his mind when he wakes up.
Because no one just wakes up angry.
So you mad about something that happened the night before? Yep. Text message you read when you woke up?
Yes, always.
Something from last week that you thought about before you went to sleep.
Right. You know? And that wakes up and that just set on your heart, on your mind, on your unconsciously. Maybe if you saw something and you didn't think much about it, but then in your unconsciously that, you know, did some things and you woke up angry. Like, I woke up mad this morning. And you got to have a reason. There's always a reason for everything. So I like that you shared that. So for any author out there writing, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, tell us your why. Your audience needs to know why your character is doing this way, if it's fictional, or if you are writing your memoir, autobiography. Make sure you let the audience know why you had done something or why you are doing something, because that connects and that fills that void, that gap. So as an author, when I was coming up here today, you were just telling me that you are working on book number 3.
Yes, this is part of a trilogy.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's part of a trilogy. The whole overall it's an evolution. It's a story of evolution. Since I put so much of myself into my protagonist, I wanted to mirror her journey through my own.
Okay, so you both are your character is growing as you grow.
Yes.
Oh, exactly. That's gonna be beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like a different, like I said, the story is fictional.
Yeah.
But they come from, I was in a certain place in my life when I came up with the idea for each one.
Yeah.
So with Prodigal, the original, I was very much in that social group where I just wanted to belong. Yeah. I had separated myself from the church a while ago because I wanted to understand life on my own terms and not have somebody tell me what's right, what's wrong, how you're supposed to act, who you're supposed to be. Can I figure that out for myself? What I'm comfortable with, what I'm not comfortable with, what I want to stand for.
Yes.
And so throughout that exploration, I got into that relationship and it was toxic. And I didn't understand that this was not a relationship I needed to stay in, because at that point in time, it was normalized. It was dismissed. It was like, oh, you can't get mad because this, that, and the other.
That's all guys do that. No, all guys don't. Just
all you got to do is got to play this game, play that game. Why do I have to play a game? Right. Unless
we both know we are engaging in the game, right, then there's no need to play it.
Right. Yeah. And I'm never one. I don't like to play games like that with emotions. It's like, let's just put it all on the table.
Absolutely.
What's what, what's not.
Right.
Okay. And so then when the second book comes along, I'm not going to get too much into that yet. Yeah. But the second book is when it's called Prodigal, because she had left the church. The second book is Lyrical Chaos, because my main character is Lyric, and she gets into even more stuff.
Ooh, okay.
And she actually ends up going back to church for a little while.
Oh, so when you said it mirrors your life, so you left for real. Your character leaves under the terms of what she left, and then she returns. Did you return as well?
Yes, I did for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, I did for a while, and it was still more about about my growth. Like I wanted to know more myself. It was still my choice. I wasn't forced to go anymore, because like as kids, like you going to church. I don't care what you got to do.
You're getting out of this house. You live in this house.
Okay, you're gonna have an extracurricular activity. You're gonna be on the usher board or the choir. Which one?
Funny.
Right. So I was in the choir.
Yeah.
So with that, I joined back to church. I wanted to actually experience God for myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn Him for myself, and not just because I was told I had to.
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then the third book hits where I am now, as a 35-year-old woman, and I'm not going to get into that, but it's a journey. It's a journey. But what sets the original Prodigal and the remix, I have Prodigal the remix out, was the pandemic. Was because, like I said before, I understood that the character was upset. She explained that she was upset and why she reacted the way she did, because she was upset.
Yeah.
But then when the pandemic happened, I reflected back on my own journey, and I was able to put into words why it upset me. And so with me figuring out why things upset me, I was able to go back into the characters and figure out why she was upset. So I expanded on it.
You know, I'm gonna say this to those who are writing fictional stories. What I love about author Samantha's story is that she's taken elements of her actual life to write a fictional story. You can do that. That is completely okay. Think about it, and if you ever seen a movie that says based on a true story, that means they pulled elements out of probably a headline or someone else's particular life, and they wrote a story around it. Now, you don't have to do your entire life and turn into a fictional story. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. But there are different elements that if you want to pull from your reality and put it into a fictional place, then there you go. Go right ahead and do it. She's proof that it works.
And have fun with it as well.
Yeah.
Because it is an exploration, but it's also fun.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, I could do this. I wish I could have done this in real life, but I couldn't do that in real life without getting arrested. So in the book, this is just what's going to happen. She's going to get away with it because it's my role, and I said so.
Yeah. Listen, as an author, it's okay to kill people. However you would want to do it.
It's okay to bust them over the head with a 40 ounce. Like,
it's okay, but just don't allow your reality to mimic your fiction.
Right. Okay, you can fictionalize it, but don't actually do it.
So don't be like, well, I listened to Ebony and Ebony and author Samantha. They told me I can do it. No, it's not what we're
I'm not promoting violence. I'm not suggesting anybody get violent, but my book has some moments of violence in it.
Yep.
And I believe sometimes it's necessary violence. Sometimes somebody needs to get hit, but I don't suggest hitting them in real life. Not in this climate. No, everybody's litigious.
And one of my books, and my first book, Eve's Confession. Now let me tell you this real quick before I tell you about that. You said you had written your book in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So did I. I didn't publish it to 2012. So when you said you had written it in 2010 and published in 2013.
Blew my mind. 2018.
Oh, well, what did you do in 2013?
I came up with the concept of the reality show.
Oh, the reality show. Okay, so it was just like, I guess I wasn't the only creative out here in 2010 trying to figure this thing out, because it was just like, you take this story. I knew the beginning, the first 2 chapters I knew, and the ending. That's all I had.
Yeah.
And I had to weave everything together to get from the beginning to the end.
That's funny because I only knew the beginning and parts of the middle.
I knew nothing.
I knew parts of the middle. Like I know I want this to happen, I want this to happen, but where does it happen? Why does it happen? How does it happen? Now does it end? Because every single time, even when I was in like 7th grade, I had really good ideas for stories.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to end them.
Oh, okay. So that could be a problem because then
Yeah.
you go on and it's like,
Yeah. And so like I had so
what's
many
the end date
books,
to this?
so many
Yeah.
composition books in high school filled with stories, but I just stopped at some point because I got myself into a block. I don't know how to end it. I don't know how to write my way out of it. But now that I can, I'm actually going back to a lot of my high school stories.
I was going to ask you that. Have you revisited your prior stories?
I do, and they're actually different genres. Because
really,
because Prodigal and Chaos, they're urban fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have this other one that's kind of like a sci-fi story. I have one that's like a Carrie meets the Crow kind of horror story. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
I love versatile authors because you never know what you're going to get from them. I absolutely love that. So let me ask you this. Are you going to have a different pen name? Because I know some authors do that. I don't know how.
No, I'm going to claim it all under me.
Okay, good.
Because I don't like to box myself in as one thing.
Yeah.
I like so many different. I love a Broadway musicals.
Yeah.
I will get up. One of my dreams was to get on Broadway and sing a musical one day.
Okay.
You know, but I kind of get stage fright when it comes to my singing, so it's like that's probably not gonna work out. So I'll just write that into a book somewhere.
That's what your characters do.
My characters are gonna do it. But I like all kinds of. I'm very diverse in my interests. Mm-hmm. So especially when I read, like it's funny because I've written urban fiction, but I haven't read that many urban fiction books.
Me either.
Because I don't want to get into a trope of a formula. This is how it's supposed to go.
No,
I don't like formulas.
No, not at all.
Okay,
when you're creative, you can't go by formula. I mean, there could be industry standards, yes.
Yeah.
But formulas of how the story should progress and go, no, because then it's not you being your authentic creative self.
Yeah, exactly. My first experience with an editor, when she was editing the remix, like we had a lot of battles, and it turned out we had decided to part ways because she did not agree with the direction my story was taking. She felt that I was too kind to the antagonistic character, who is actually a really bad dude, but I was giving him a chance to explain himself. He doesn't need to explain himself. I was like, am I writing or are you writing?
Right. Because people, I do believe people do need to have the opportunity to understand why your protagonist is just like this. Remember the why.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for him, because if you don't write it in the back, like at the backstory, so it depends on if it's first narrative. But if it's not first narrative, if it's 2 or 3rd person narrative, you gotta have some explanation in there as to why this character is acting the way they are, so that readers can understand. Yeah. Not so much maybe to sympathize with them, depending on their backstory. The audience may sympathize with them, but to make it make sense. Because again, you don't wake up angry, or you don't wake up just wanting to kill someone.
You don't grow up automatically thinking, okay, so when I meet a girl, I'm just going to be a complete bad guy.
Right.
Because it's funny. Happened. What influenced your life to make you think this way? What experiences did you have as a child that led you to this point? Because I believe that our personalities and our judgments are a series of events that started from childhood.
Absolutely. Because that's what we learn. Yeah. And so because we're in that developmental stage, what we learn as we are our children, it becomes a part of who we are through the course of our, it shapes our lives, whether we are conscious of it or not.
And honestly, I don't feel you should ever stop learning how to just let each experience you've had in life, whether good or bad, lead you to understand yourself a little bit better.
Yes.
And make different choices.
Yeah.
Perhaps next time you're given the opportunity. Because my character, she gets pregnant by one of her castmates.
Oh.
And that's in the back of the book. That's not a spoiler. So
okay.
That's in the book. She gets pregnant by one of the characters. He's not so nice a guy to her throughout that process. And she can't really escape him because they live together. That's part of the show. And you got the entire world commenting on their relationship. You got the entire house commenting on the relationship. And she's just trying to like level with him, like what's going on. And he's more like playing that, oh, you can't touch me kind of role.
This is in the remix, the one I got?
Yeah.
Okay. I got the remix.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see what's going on.
Yeah. So I expanded on him about his thought process.
Yeah.
And why? Because he wasn't taking things seriously because he didn't understand the gravity of certain situations.
And see, that's why I would have parted ways with my editor as well.
Yeah.
Because if I explain to you, hey, this is the direction I'm going with this, it's my creative genius here, if I may. So why would you try to change it? So if that it's a battle, if you, whoever you're working with, you have the right, the opportunity, the justification to say, yeah, this is not going to work any further. Deuces, Chris Brown.
Yep. Because since this was a trilogy, I also planted some seeds, very heavy seeds in the first book that don't really, and then I mentioned it again in the second book, but they don't really get driven home until the third book.
Yeah.
Because the third book takes place during, like, you know, the pandemic when you have nothing to do but think.
Right.
But reflect back. And so since she's a reality star, you know, all her experiences are going to be on Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
So she's having to relive her traumas
all over again.
And she has, and as an adult, as a woman who, and in the book, she was 21, 22 when it happened. As 35-year-old, if I had all my experiences from 21, 22 back on,
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that. But then, you know, being in the public eye, she had time to like reflect, like, wow, that I am strong. That happened to me and I didn't break.
Right. I survived
kind of
what others could have died from.
Exactly.
What could have crushed people and either died spiritually, emotionally, even physically. Yeah, here I am still thriving.
Exactly. That's kind of the mindset that I had about myself, about a lot of the experiences that I've been through. Like even recently, I'm still like, for the last couple of years, I've been trying to understand my traumas and how that's still affected me and why I haven't been able to grow past it. And I realized I need to give myself a break. I need to be easier on myself and forgive myself, free myself, love myself more, and allow myself to evolve.
Are y'all listening to this?
That's my whole like theme for these 3-book journeys. Allow yourself to evolve, allow yourself to be healed and move forward.
Allow yourself to be healed and move forward. Just to add on to that, because once you do, the world will appear so different to you. It's like, it'll be like a light bulb going off, and the brighter it gets, the more you heal, the brighter that light will get. Do the work, pretty much, basically. So this year we are celebrating the year of the entrepreneur. As an author, what other opportunities have you been awarded or have started?
Well, I have started, like I said at the event, is doing free reviews for other authors. If you sign up on my website, authorsamanthasanchez.com, there is a form where you can fill out, submit your name and your email address, and I will contact you. And I'll read your book. I'll not only give you a written out review on my page and send it to you to post on your information, I will also record a video and audio of that same review. So if you're a person that likes to see it in words and read it, you'll have that opportunity. If you're a person who just likes to hear it as you go, you'll have that opportunity. If you're somebody who likes watching YouTube videos, tutorials, you have a video ready.
Yeah, that is actually pretty awesome. And I'm going to recommend starting July 1st, you charge for that.
Okay, I will do that then. I'll take that recommendation.
I would say like $50.
For this month only, it's free. But starting July 1st, $50.
No, no less than, because that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
You're doing.
And then also one of my longer term goals is to start up my own little publishing company for new authors.
Yeah.
Like because I know myself, I like to be in control of my own stuff.
Absolutely.
So I want to be able to walk other authors through the process that I went through.
Yes.
To get my books out.
So they're not guessing and going through those pitfalls.
Exactly.
Skip the pitfalls, you guys. Right.
And the whole goal is to teach them to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be charging money to show you how to do it.
Of course.
But overall, like my job with AOP, we're working to lose our jobs pretty much.
Oh, I got you.
So
because I'm going to teach you everything.
Yeah.
That you need to go out and then launch your own, if you choose to publish your own works or launch your own publishing.
Right. If you choose to still have me do it for you, I'm cool with that. But I want to enable you to make the decision to be able to do it yourself if you so choose. Yeah.
Because this world of public writing is one side. That's one thing you have to tackle.
And I'm learning that.
Then the next thing is the actual publishing. So when I started in 2010 writing my book, it took me 6 months to write my fictional story. 6 months. Easy peasy, no problem. But that publishing,
Good for you.
6 months. That was it. It was a lot of sacrificing. I didn't go out with my friends. My friends would call me and say, "Hey, Ev, we're going out. I'm on my way," and I'll be on my living room floor writing.
Yeah. See, it's taking me longer than that, but my issue was my mom. I live with my mom, and so she'll want me to do the dishes right then and there, and I'll be in the middle. I call it performing surgery.
Oh
on my story. So like,
no!
I'll have written a chapter or something like that, and then I'll be going back, like making little tweaks, and
Yeah.
in the middle of like a paragraph, in the middle of a chapter, like where you're in the zone, and come do the dishes, and it's like, hold on. And so we've gotten a lot of like arguments because I won't drop what I'm doing right then and there. She's understanding now. This is like years ago when it was like, I can't right now.
Because if I leave this story,
right,
because it's always good when you first think of a story. That's the point where it's at its best. If you don't write it down, if you don't record it, when you try to think it over again, it's never the same.
It's not just like putting the paintbrush down for a second. But even then, like if you're an artist, you're really in the zone. They can't put that paintbrush down.
No.
Right.
Oh man, I thought that was just me. I thought I was the only one. I'm gonna tell you.
I call it the creative crankies.
The creative crankies, because your girl I would get those. But my first book, that's how my friends, "Oh, you coming out?" And I would tell them I'm on my way, and I would not be on my way. I'm not coming anywhere. So one thing I wanted to ask you as well, if you could share one point in your journey with authors to make them continue, what would it be?
To make them continue
with their own journey.
With their own
decide,
journey?
I can't do this anymore. Forget it, I'm not doing it.
That's the moment when you're really close to actually achieving your goal. So I would recommend keep pushing. When you have the greatest self-doubt in yourself, that's because you have something great and you're really, really insecure about it. And you know it's going to be great. And you're just scared that nobody else is going to like it. Who cares if nobody else likes it? Do you like it? Somebody else is going to like it. Some other people think like you too, have the same opinions and courses, and come on, put that out there. Put it out there. That's what I recommend.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and pass the collection plate because that is well said. Because people just like, we give up. We like, well, what are they gonna think? And what are they gonna, nobody's gonna support me. I often tell my clients, don't worry about the who's and the what's when you don't have anything for them to reject or accept.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter. If you don't have a book done, who cares who's gonna read it? It's not even done.
Right. And it's also about perspective, because instead of thinking about who's not gonna like it or who's not gonna read it, think about who is gonna like it, who is gonna read it. Like the characters in my book are majority based off of actual people. And they know about it. The people who were in the book, they know about it. They were back there, was like, you should make my character this name, that name. I kept the names that y'all said. A lot of them haven't read it, but who cares? Because I put it out there, and there's people who have read it and have like it. They'll probably have something to say about it when they do read it, but it's too late.
It's already done.
It's already done. I'm already on book 3. Like, you should have had some issue back in 2010. We in 2022. So, wait. That's beyond sleep.
You'll survive.
It's
just know
it's
what you saying can and will be used against you in a book.
Yes. There's a meme that I see on Facebook or Instagram, something where it says, "Don't want to piss off a writer."
No, you don't. Because then you'll be like, you read their book, like, wait a minute, first of all, is that me? Like, I had a friend. And for my first book, Eve's Confessions. And in the story, Eve has an affair. And the guy's name is Will. One of my friends read the book. She called me. She said, did I tell you about? No. She was like, because this sounds like, I was like, girl, I had no idea. Life.
I actually had that incident.
Okay, I'm telling you,
recently too.
Yeah, I know.
There was something that happened to a male character in my book, like her romantic interest later on in the book.
Yeah.
That something happened to. He had a secret he didn't want to share. And then I just found out, I put that in a book, like I said, published in 2018. I didn't find out till this year that stuff actually happened to him. And he's like, yeah, I told how was this happened and that happened. I was like, I didn't know that. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, sir, I would tell, like, you are trying to live my character's life.
Right.
My character is not trying to live your life.
Just saying. But it's a lot of fun. And, I look forward to where I grow from here.
And I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask you what's next for you.
After Evolution, I have a couple of other ones cooking in the air. I'm not sure which one I'm going to put out first.
Okay.
Like I said, I wanted to kind of drift away from urban fiction for a little bit. I know I do have another one on my mind for urban fiction. And focus on the horror story right now, because that one's. Ooh. I actually had a dream about that one again recently. That horror story came as a dream when I was 15. I remember.
Oh my goodness.
So.
I like fictional suspense thrillers though. Suspenseful is like when your heart is pounding, like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? I like those. But scary.
Yeah. I recently read a book like that by another author, female author that, she and I are connecting. She's who I was a couple of years ago, where she actually has more books out and more of a brand going for her than I did. And when I first started out, but she's still just trying to figure it out just like I am. And I read her book and I was like,
you could do it. There's not many African American writers who are, or Hispanic writers, or people of color who write in the horror genre. It's usually urban fiction, or anything of that urban fiction. I know that I've heard of hip hop fiction, street lit, and stuff like that. So for you to venture off, I think is absolutely wonderful, as you should, just to open up that door. Like, I don't have to be niched.
Why should I limit myself when I have so many diverse interests?
Right. And you should, because that just makes you a well-rounded person.
Yeah. Like books I read right now, historical fiction. Like for some reason I'm obsessed with the kings and queens of England back in the day.
I love those type of movies.
Tudors.
I'm like, those are my
We're soul sisters now.
I love those. I don't know what it is about British TV.
It's just like Pride and Prejudice, all that.
I just love them because it's just more like, and I have a thing for Korean movies too. And action, and I love the subtitles.
I love subtitles.
I just absolutely love them. Like, there's this one called it's a scary one. It has to do with zombies. Oh my goodness, it was on Netflix. I watched the entire series with the subtitles and was really understanding what was going on. I cannot remember the name of it. I'll probably remember like tomorrow. But I say that because I remember I had told my best friend, I like this series. And he was like, have you watched Kingdom? I was like, no. So it's another Asian base. And so I didn't know he liked it as well.
Yeah. It's so refreshing to find people who aren't limited to just one thing that I always had, people have always come at me with was, oh, Black people don't do that. It's like, well, why?
You'll be surprised. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. I remember when I was in college with the Black people don't do this thing. When I was in college, I didn't think that Black people were into goth. Because when I was
super goth.
I didn't know that, because when here in Rochester, I didn't meet any Black students who was into goth, but white students. Yeah. And so when I got to college, I'm like,
I actually I don't think I've actually met another one that's like in goth the way I was, because my goth was at the time more of a representation of my depression.
Oh, okay,
at the time, where it was more like, okay, I'm going to dress like this. And maybe y'all, maybe y'all dye my hair, like maybe y'all leave me alone for a minute, type of thing. But I actually listened to goth rock. I listened to like heavy metal before Manson got this whole drama. I used to listen to him. Now I can't listen to Marilyn Manson no more. Man, so it was just like, I like diversity. Like, where people are always promoting, oh yeah, we need more diversity. Okay, cool. So then why are you trying to put me in a box?
Why are you trying to niche me? Why are you trying to put me in a box and say I can't come out of this? No, you can. You absolutely can. And so I love that. So if you are an author and you're like, well, because I'm Black, because I'm Hispanic, because I'm Black or brown, I should be doing this type of story. No, you do what you want. Whatever you like. I have a niece who likes Japanese
anime.
Anime. She absolutely loves it. Nobody, I'm like, if that's what you want, she want the books and all that stuff. I don't care. Let's go to Barnes & Noble and get it. I support that. Right. So write what you want, share what you will, because there's an audience for it. I encourage you to seek out your audience, so you don't have to worry about who's going to write it, who's going to read it, who's going to buy it,
who's going to appeal to
who's going to appeal to. You got to know that everyone, because I always tell my clients, everyone is not your target audience.
No, and what you're writing, if you're writing from a story, it's a human experience.
Yeah.
It may not be this particular human's experience,
Yeah.
but it's one human's experience. Like the story, the elements that I get to, the mental health elements that I kind of touch on in Prodigal is a female experience. So it may not just be limited to Black women. I'm sure there are other women who are not Black who have gone through toxic relations with men who aren't there. Like what woman, you know, hasn't had issues with the man?
Right.
I know a lot. Right. Way too many.
But I think that's where it comes about being an author, because you have the ability, you have the authority to step outside the box. Be creative. If sci-fi is your thing, do sci-fi.
Create your own world.
That's one thing I do love about writing, because you can bend the world to what it is that you want it to. And I don't know, saying that made me think of the movie Inception. That's not it really is. We couldn't do that, you know. But Leonardo DiCaprio and the rest of the crew, they did it. That was somebody's imagination. It was like, well, we're gonna make a movie based off of this, and in the world, they're gonna take this pill, and they're gonna be able to do this. They're gonna go to sleep, and they're gonna be able to bend all these different things. And if they could do that in movies, you could do it with writing.
When movies started, they didn't think they couldn't do special effects the way we do now. And nobody thought that it was possible. Somebody thought it was possible at some point
and tried
we got here. How do you know you're not going to be the one who starts something new for something else?
Right. And you got to be that trailblazer. Be the what is the saying go? Be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
Go right ahead and just do it. Yeah. So what is it? So we're almost out of time. What's something that we should look forward to coming up from you?
Well, I have my follow-up to Prodigal the Remix called Lyrical Chaos Alternate Reality.
Okay.
It's called Alternate Reality because it's actually another remix. Because, you know, I have Prodigal, the original Prodigal. I also have an original Lyrical Chaos, which is also available on my website. And so, like I said, pandemic happened. I understood it better. I went back in, changed some stuff around, deepened the character, deepened the motivation. And that comes out September 19th, 2022.
All right.
Keep an eye on my website for more details. Author SamanthaSanchez.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at AuthorLadySam.
There we go. You guys, Samantha's here, Rochester. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. San Diego, California. And she's experiencing our bipolar weather as well.
Next year.
I'll be more prepared next year. It's Rochester. We don't know. We want to be outside for next year's expo. Okay. That's the goal. So hopefully Mother Nature cooperates.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We're going to put that in the atmosphere. Okay, you guys, that is all we have for today's Black Authors Rock podcast. I am Ebony Nicole, the Vice President of the Rochester Black Authors Association. And as always, follow us on Instagram at rock_BAA, on Facebook at rock BAA 2015, and on YouTube. Find us under the Rochester Black Authors Association, and make sure you subscribe so that you can be in the know of everything that we have coming down the pipeline concerning these authors. And the recap for the Black Authors Expo will be up later this week, so please make sure you watch that and give us some feedback. Let us know, you know, if you want to have some of the authors come to your city, let us know. And you can always visit us on our website, rockbaa.org. Send us a message and we'll respond back to you. Until next time, you guys, get the book done. Bye.